हाँ ठीक है, मेरा फेस रेड हो गया क्या?
हो गया पूरा
ठीक है.
वंशिका क्या वैसे लग रहा है
So since we all know that you are a dog person and you absolutely love dogs, so let's create a hypothetical scenario. हम देखो ये पॉडकास्ट सीरियस नहीं होना है बिल्कुल भी. मेरा ऐसा मोटिव नहीं है कि इसको मैं सीरियस बनाऊँ. So if your mom were to describe you in just one word, what word it is going to be according to you?
Okay, vampire.
Vampire?
Because I always suck her blood. Always. You know, she's like, at first I used
I
to...
was not expecting that. So hello everyone and welcome back to another podcast. My name is Vanshika Thakur and I'm your host for today. So before starting, let me tell you all that today I'm feeling kind of happy because yes, we are so back with another banger podcast. So yeah. Anyways, today we are having with us someone who is very, cheerful all the time, someone who is very energetic all the time, someone who is also a total brain rot person by the way, and someone who has this thing of making others around him comfortable. So yeah, you guessed it right. I'm talking about Miss Srishti Chauhan. So she is our guest today. So I welcome you and thank you so much for agreeing to this podcast. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I also want to tell you all that this podcast it's going to be very unique and very, I can say, special because today I'm taking the podcast of that one person who has taken the podcast of almost every single person, whether it be any intern, sir, or the other active member of this NGO. But herself, she has not given the podcast. So today is that day, and you can say I'm feeling very grateful to have this opportunity of podcasting her. So let's get started. Were you like this cheerful and jovial in your childhood as well?
Oh, well, yeah. Ever since I was born, like when I was there in since third class till now, I've been cheerful, I've been so much energetic. I don't know from where the energy is coming from the source, but still I've always been like this. I love making friends, I'm a social butterfly, and I love connecting with the people. That was the main reason why I joined this NGO. So yeah, ever since I was a kid, I was like that.
So is there any funny moment of your childhood that you would like to share with all of us?
Oh, well, it is. So what happened, like we all know, I was there in school. So that time I had shifted to Sweden and I was a new girl. So I used to live in the village. So to all the people who don't know from where I am, I'm from Tudu. So basically till third I studied over there. And then I think around 2011 we all shifted back to Solin where my father used to work. So he's been working over here in UHF Nani since 1992 or something like that. But when I first came over here, so I had no idea, how city life is. So for the very first time when my parents took me to enroll in the school, so my school where I've done my 12th is BL Public School. So my first date was really hilarious. I entered and then it was a time for my introduction and the assembly was going on. The prayer was going on. So I don't know, maybe they were just singing some stotam, Durga Stotam, and I was there standing and I was talking to the girls. So the principal, she saw me. She was the most strict lady. But with time, I realized that sometimes the people whom you think they're very strict, they're the ones who love you the most. So yeah,
true.
What happened? She saw me. She spotted me, and she didn't know that I was the new girl. So she just told me that this girl just come and sing the Durga Stotam, and I was like, Om Durga Namah, Om Durga Namah, what should I say? Om Durga, in my face. It was so red, I was so embarrassed. Om Durga Namah. And she gave me a slap. It was a picnic day. It was the picnic day when all the people were happy and I was crying.
Oh no.
So it was the most funny from the emotional day of my life that I'm never likely to forget.
Oh my god, that was really hilarious to be honest. Okay, so moving on. If you are given the option of seeing the future or going back to the past, what will you choose and why?
Okay, if I'm given the option, I would love to go to my past.
Why?
Because my mother used to say that when I was a child, I used to eat all the fruits in each and everything. I ate this 2 kg oranges in one day.
Wow.
So I don't know, I was really a fruit lover and I was really so cute. So I want to go back and I want to see how much cute I was there in my childhood. The people used to say you were so cute and now you're just like a skeleton. So I want to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I was so cute and I want to see myself eating those oranges. I would love to go back to the childhood.
That's very cute thing, I must say. So tell me something that mostly people misjudge about you or that misconception people have about you.
That I'm arrogant.
That you're arrogant.
Oh yeah.
She's definitely not. guys.
Yeah, like recently, 2 days before, so to all those people who don't know, so I'm like a fresher. I've just enrolled in college, and
Fresher.
2 days
Fresher.
before, 2 days before, it was like my first day, and I made like, yeah, 2, 3 friends. I made a good squad. So there's one girl, and she just came to me, and she was like, "You sound so arrogant," and I was like, "Really? Are you telling me like this?" And then I was like, "Could you please tell me like from which point of view do I sound arrogant?" She's like, "When you speak English, you sound so arrogant. You make other people feel that like they're not worth it." And I was like, "Okay, thanks for telling me. I'll not be arrogant."
You are not arrogant. To me, you are a total brain rot person, but you are not arrogant. Okay.
So, yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing that the people misjudge a lot about me. I'm not arrogant. I'm not egoistic. It may be my sound that sounds like that. Still, I'm not.
Okay. So if your mom were to describe you in just one word, what word it is going to be according to you?
Okay. Vampire.
Vampire.
Because I always suck her blood. Always.
Okay.
She's like, at first I used
I
to.
was not expecting that.
And she was like, when you were not born, I was such a like, cheerful lady. And since you were born, I'm like, oh my god, all the time I'm irritated, and it is all because of you. I've lost all my weight because of you, and I'm like, oh my god, why am I held responsible for that?
Nice. So, is there anything that you want to change about you? Like maybe in your nature, in your behavior, your habits, your likes or dislikes?
Yeah, something like, I'm not a patient kind of person. I can sit for one moment, like if I'm sitting right here, so I'm like, when this podcast gonna end? So yeah, I don't know.
Seriously?
No, but not now. I said, like I'm not patient. I'm an impatient kind of personality. So yeah, I want to inculcate the patience of listening to the people, listening to the views of others. So yeah, it is that one thing I'm gonna change for sure.
Okay, so since we all know that you are a dog person and you absolutely love dogs, so let's create a hypothetical scenario. I want you to imagine that there is a world full of dogs, okay, where you can find every single dog breed that you know, that you can think of right now and that actually exists in reality. So it's a dog world basically. Now, my question to you is that will you be going to this world and then never coming back to Earth?
For sure.
So what are you
I
going
would
to
be
do
the
there?
queen of that land.
Oh.
I would have dogs everywhere as far as my eyes could see. I would not even have a single person. I would like every time I would be surrounded by the furry animals. Yeah, I would never come back.
Yeah, that's
but I
very
want
nice.
that word to exist in reality. It was really a nice question. I'm gonna record it for myself.
Okay, so moving on. I've heard this from Sir and many others as well that you are one of the oldest member of this NGO. Is that so?
Yeah.
That's very appreciable. So, what made you join this NGO? I'm very eager to know that.
I joined this NGO around 10th. So at first, I saw Sir way more before, when we used to come back from the school to home. So I used to see Sir, he would sometimes used to like, I don't know, he used to go on the walk. And I was like, oh my god, who is this person wearing hat? What kind of hat it is? And I used to make fun for sure. Sorry, Sir. I used to make fun. But then, I realized, I think there's my uncle down there and he knows Sir really well. So he just introduced me to Sir and he was like, I've always been a butterfly, social butterfly, as I said before. I love interacting with the people. And when I got the opportunity to like, it was like my English teacher. She said to me that, you should just engage yourself with NGO. You should like channelize your energy. You have so much energy. So you should channelize it in right direction. So I was like, I want to join an NGO, but I didn't know that time like the best NGO. So they just suggested me this NGO, and for the very first day when I came over here, oh my god, like it was wonderful. So he made me so comfortable, and the people over here, they were so amazing that I had to join this NGO. And maybe like a small love for the nature that time that has grown into a big one now. So it was the thing that like in together made me join this NGO, and it is like the best decision of my life that I've ever made till now.
So I'll call that a fate. Okay, fate. So, as far as I remember, you once told me that you joined this NGO 3 years back.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did you notice any change that has happened in this NGO? Like the way it is used to be 3 years back and the way it is now. Is there any change?
Oh, well, like talking about this NGO, I don't think so there is a particular change, but yeah, like the people that used to come in this NGO, they were like, 3 years back. The people, they used to be like really, I don't know whether it is from my point of view, from my point of view, I used to find people really serious, and after 3 years back, I'm meeting you guys, and I'm like, wow, the people are really cool, and that is the difference, 3 years back, the people used to be so much serious, they used to be calm, they used to compose, and now all the Gen Z, so yeah,
So we are like non-serious?
Yeah, we are non-serious. Then it is
We
a
are, we
big
actually
change.
are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so yeah, it's our, sign
Yeah, it is.
of NGO. Okay, so yeah, I'm being serious, but she's not letting me. So being the oldest member, I want to know more about your experience while working in this NGO.
Okay, well, it is like really, really difficult for me to describe my like whole experience in just few words, but I'll try. So like, as I said before, I joined this NGO like 3 years before, and for the very first time when I joined this NGO, I used to be like really a shy cat. I used to be so much embarrassed, when sir used to tell me that you just come in front of the camera and like just speak. So I used to be like really a child who like to like be behind the cameras. But soon, when I saw like most of the volunteers coming, talking to each other, doing something for the people, and like contributing to the society in some way or other, it just like ignited a spark within me, and I was like, no, I also want to do such stuff. So basically, in the terms of communication skill, I also improved, and in the terms of the love towards the nature, at first I used to throw rappers here and there. Even my school teachers, I don't know if I'll start calculating my calculations really bad. I was imposed a fine of 1,000. Yeah, just for throwing rappers here and there. I was such an irresponsible kid. But now my mother, she says, oh my god, my daughter, is she the one, if my mother, like she throws like rapper, she has this habit, in the house. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna put it in the dustbin. And yeah, I've taught my parents it is the biggest flex.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, like the change in the nature, the confidence and the communication skill and the love towards the nature, the selfless contribution that, sir made, it just made me realize that, sometimes, being kind, it costs you nothing. So yeah, these were the things that, they made me really good, I would say. So yeah.
That's very great. Another question that you asked almost every other person, I want to ask you that question. Tell me that particular thing that you find interesting and very unique about this NGO, and why more and more people should join this NGO.
Oh well, okay. So if I talk about this NGO, so like there are so many NGOs that are working throughout the world or throughout India, and they're doing good at their own level. But the unique thing about this NGO is that like it has been connected more to the nature. It is contributing to the society, and like sir, he always tries to inculcate the habit of self-consciousness within the children. I don't think so any of the NGO teachers want to like go on the self journey, to realize oneself first and to think of the people before yourself. So yeah, and the second thing is obviously, a person is doing so much for the nature, for like the selfless contribution to the society. So yeah, like I think it is the thing that makes this NGO really, really unique. And to all those people who are thinking of joining some NGO, you should definitely come to this NGO, and you'll find why I suggested you to come over here, because it's really awesome. As you can see, you're going to meet such cool people over here who are really good.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. Do you want to say anything to your younger self? Like, just say to a 10-year-old Srishti, do you want to say anything to her?
Oh my god, if I would be given the chance to like say anything to my younger self, I would definitely say I'm really proud of you to be like this much energetic and to always be this much positive, even if you were thrown into the negative situation, for always making people comfortable around you, for always being cheerful, and for always being proud from where you come from, your roots, and for never ever forgetting like the values that you had been given. So yeah, always keep shining and always keep doing great things. Love you.
Yeah, that's very cute. Now the question that is asked in almost every other interview or every other podcast, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you that question. I'm going to ask you a different one. 10 years from now, what hobby do you think will completely take over you?
Well, most likely it's going to be the anchoring ones.
Anchoring?
Yeah, I love anchoring. I love, like public speaking. So I would definitely say, yeah, this habit's going to take me completely over, like, in the next 10 years, I would see myself, like being completely manipulated by this thing.
Okay, so tell me one lesson that you have learned from the sir, which has hit you so hard that you will always remember that lesson no matter what happens.
One lesson, there are so many. It's like really difficult to choose one, but it's like, sir always says that, like be the ocean of mercy. I used to be so much miser, to be really honest. I used to be so much mean. I used to be so much mean when I didn't join this NGO. I was not benevolent, I was not magnanimous at all, but after joining this NGO and sir, like I saw sir doing selfless contribution, it just hit me so hard, and it felt like it just ignited that like deep spark within me that yes, sometimes you have to be selfless, not for yourself but for the society, but for the welfare of the people. I'm not gonna forget this lesson for the entire life of mine. Wherever I would go, I would definitely spread sir's teaching to each and every person that I would meet, and to all, like all the teachings that I'm having right now, but I can't speak it. That's so many.
Okay. So moving on, apart from being the most jovial, the most cheerful, funny, friendly, and apart from laughing and grinning for no reason, what are your actual hobbies, Miss Srishti? I want to know
Apart
that.
from this, they're not my hobbies at all. Apart from
So you don't
these
have
are
any-
only my hobbies.
These are all your hobbies?
Yes.
So you don't have any like...
Any other hobby I don't have except grinning, except laughing like crazy maniac. I don't have anything.
Okay, so you heard that, Mr. Rahul. Okay, so there was this video in which Mr. Rahul commented. It was the video of me giving my podcast, and she was doing that podcast. So in that video, Mr. Rahul commented like, laughing and grinning for no reason is like a rare gift from God, which not everyone has. So I want to ask him that when you wrote that comment, so was that you praising us, or was that you being sarcastic? Because if I talk about myself, when I read that comment, and I guess Srishti also, I was like totally confused what this man is trying to say. So because
I'm grinning for no reason. Was it
okay, it was a compliment. It doesn't.
Oh,
It didn't look like the compliment. But
Yeah, I thought it to be you were using some sarcasm.
laughing and grinning for no reason.
It is a rare gift from the God.
You can't ask me a question when I'm asking a question. Okay. So it's gonna be fun, यार. तो आप मुझे बताइए कि आपने ऐसा क्यों बोला, आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि हम बिना मतलब के हंस रहे थे और
ये हमारे लिए भगवान के द्वारा दिया गया एक अनमोल तोहफा है.
one last question.
Okay.
One last question. So anything you would like to say to the people who are watching this podcast, to our viewers?
First of all, please don't mistake us to be mentally challenged people. First of all, it's like our inequalities. We are almost like we have the same soul in different bodies. Okay, we are like sisters. And the way she took my podcast, it was really amazing. To all those people who are watching this podcast, I think that you should definitely come over here, and she would be the podcaster again. And then, I would say, like, I don't have any value. She's such a good podcaster. And the way she asks questions, it's really amazing. And, her questions, they were so insightful, come funny. And she made me completely comfortable before, like behind the cameras. I was really nervous. I was like, I'm going to do that. But, ever since, like, I'm like sitting over here, I'm really comfortable. I'm like, I'm talking, without having camera on. And it was really nice. Thanks for making me feel comfortable. And it was the best podcast I would remember for the rest of my life.
So thank you so much. It was really incredible, really lovely talking to you. You are truly the most wonderful and most welcoming person I've ever seen in my life. So please stay like this, and I wish you all the very best for your future.
Same goes for you too.
Thank you. So thank you so much everyone for patiently listening and watching this podcast. And if you guys also felt like we were laughing and grinning for no reason, then we are really sorry. We can't do anything about that. It's just that you can't expect a serious or meaningful conversation when me and her, we both are together. It's just that we both are two brain rot people, and
we just can't stay without laughing.
Yeah, and if you really find this video interesting, then please do like and comment down what you like the most about this podcast. And stay tuned, because there are more such fun and engaging podcasts coming ahead. Thank you.